Hi again. So due to popular demand, and by popular demand I mean these heroes, here is the part 2 of the recap of Living in Bondage. If you haven't seen part 1, the link is in the description below. Okay. So remember last time when Andy told his parents he wanted to get married again and they were upset it was only a month after Merit had died? Well, you won't guess who the lucky girl is. Well, let me tell you. It's Ego. So cut to the wedding and things are going smoothly until the wedding reception when Andy is hanging with the boys from the clubhouse and suddenly Merit pops out of nowhere.
Andy.
Typical Nigerian wedding guests, they show up uninvited and they only turn up for the reception. Anyway, Andy doesn't take her appearance very well and causes him to faint. Oh my god, Andy, be careful, there's broken glass on the floor. Christ, does nobody care about health and safety here? Andy wakes up in the hospital only to find out from Carol, Ego's best friend and girlfriend to the one and only Polo, that while he was out hospitalized for a few days, Ego had decided to jet and Andy finds out she took his 2 million naira as hand luggage. Well, you know what they say about money. Easy come, easy go to your 2 million naira. But Andy is not fussed. He didn't volunteer his fully grown adult wife to be worried about 2 million naira. Andy goes to Karen and is like, another person I got from your house last time ran me blind, but do you have anybody else who can look after me just for the meantime as I'm lonely? Karen's like, I never leave the house without one. I give you Chichi. Meanwhile, Mary's peeps go to see Andy's peeps to ask how come Andy is married 3 months after their daughter died. Andy's dad is like, it is kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, we thought so too, but I can send for him and you can ask him for yourself. So Chichi comes to wake Andy up after making breakfast and I think Mary got jealous because she started doing that ghost thing and checking things up. Andy goes to see Darth Vader, who looks like he's in his pajamas, to complain about Mary's intrusion in his general life, and Darth Vader is like, there's really nothing to worry about. She's dead. Besides, I'm in my pajamas. We'll chat at the next meeting. So it seems Andy has fallen in love, and you can tell it's real love because he asked her to move in with him. Love is sweet. So Andy picks a girl from the road in his Pathfinder. Wait, this is a car? A Jeep with only 2 doors? No wonder Mary can rest in peace. If you're going to use me for ransom, you better purchase an invisible golden Boeing 3000. Damn you, Andy. Damn you. Anyway, Andy is shown off to his latest light-skinned girl. My business is really great. I'm really rich. And I'm getting a chieftaincy title. It'd be great if you could come to buy enough small talk. Shall we go to my hotel room? She's like, sure. Andy and this babe get down if you know what I mean, and it looks like she's asking for more, but then again, you shouldn't really have sex with someone with no reflection. Twice. I mean, once is enough and there's an experience they can't wait to tell everybody, so he leaves the hotel room in a haste and some people take advantage of him and put him in the Instablog Nigeria of their time, the newspaper. Where Chichi finds it and turns into a feminist instantly. So Mary's people come to see Andy in his house because Andy didn't really come when his dad sent for him, but Andy does explain that he's been busy going in and out of Nigeria. Maybe her name was Nigeria. Mary's people understandably get insulted by this and things escalate. And ladies and gentlemen, we get our favorite phrase in my household. I mean, it's in Igbo, but it still counts. In case you're new here and you're wondering why get out of my house is a thing, here's a sneak peek.
Get out now! Get out of my house! Get out of my house!
You get her out of my house! Get the hell out of my house!
Andy runs back to Darth Vader, but this time they're matching, so Mr. Vader is in a better mood. Andy explains that Mary's people are suspicious and Darth is like, just chill. It's chieftaincy title time, each million is making it rain, there's jollof, people are doing the gaga shop and Andy is having fun with his main light-skinned babe. But just before he was about to, I'm going to say, chiefed up, the OG light-skinned babe turns up and you know how we are with our affairs, they still make us weak around the knees. Oh, remember the prostitute, aka light-skinned girl number 3?
Jesus!
She's now an evangelist. Look at her preaching to her ex-colleagues about God's love. I've heard some people don't approve of this kind of preaching.
Everyone can never be preaching love. I'm not a man of preach of love. I'm a war. I'm a fight. I'm in Gaboski. Bowser.
And neither do her ex-colleagues. Mary starts taunting her replacement Chichi and Andy will not have it any longer. So you know how Christians cover themselves with the blood of Jesus? Well, the clovers have their own version. They cover you with the blood of a goat, which may very well have started some sort of epidemic. Chichi goes to see Carol to tell her living with Andy was hell, and Carol was like, just get what you can for now and leave when it's time, and Chichi was like, cool.
I'm beginning to wonder if Carol gets commission for these recommendations.
Remember how they covered Andy with the blood of Billy the Goat 2 scenes ago? Well, it didn't work because Merit is
Back again!
and Andy pulls a gun on her because I think the good blood may have leaked into his head or something. Andy decides that enough is enough. You can't pay him enough money to live this life, and he decides to commit self-murder in the same room his baby is sleeping in. He grabs a chair and some suicide rope to hang himself with and realizes Chichi is in this room and she isn't saying anything, so he decides to leave just to spite her.
Chichi. Chichi. Get up. So
Andy goes back to the Brotherhood and they tell him the reason why Andy's wife isn't resting in peace is because she was blameless, unlike a chase kid who must have been a right d***. But there's hope for Andy if he can only sacrifice 2 things.
Andy. Na call again na. Here please. Here you wouldn't work here. I'll put in a home.
Andy's like, I'll take my chance with Mary, thanks. Okay, get out, because the plot is about to move very fast. Andy sent some guys to kill Paulo, which they did, and that makes Caro sad, and also seems to end the prostitution industry as he was a very valuable customer. But Chichi has come through for her friend by finding Andy's secret room, a must-have for all ritualists, and stealing a lot of money from the room to secure passports and visas for her and Caro.
with 250 you get more correct.
So Chichi moves in with Caro until they get the passport, and then Caro poisons Chichi, probably because Chichi is a thief and you can never trust those kind of people. Anyway, Caro is crossing the road when she gets hit by a hit-and-run driver, which is a shame because if he had stayed he would have found a lot of money in her bags. Meanwhile, Andy gets taunted to madness and goes on to roam the street, but he hasn't lost all of his manners. Light-skinned girl number 3 turned evangelist spots Andy and comes later with backup, and then they take our boy to church and they pray for him, and Andy Simon plays on Mary's grave for her forgiveness. And Mary is still kind even as a ghost, so she forgives him, and the pastors cast the madness out of Andy, and Andy is saved. The end.
Mban.